Okay. Okay, I see water flooding. I think we broke some ice, so let's move on. Probably you know one another a little bit by now. So today's talk about active learning, the strategies. And I'd like to start with this picture. I want you to look at this picture for about 10 seconds individually and think what it tells you. Okay? If you're done, please turn to your neighbor and tell him what you thought. You can work this in pairs or try it. So you can work in twos or threes. Okay? Go ahead. Okay, let's hear from the class. Anybody wants to tell us what this picture tells? I didn't write it, I got it this way. But what does it tell you? Yeah, can you see that the bottom is actually learn? It's a mirror image of teaching. So learning is a mirror image of teaching. If we have mathematicians here, we have this x-y relationship when y is good, x is good, y is good. The same applies here. To get a good quality learning, you have to good quality teaching. Okay? So what is quality teaching, or what is effective teaching means to you? Any ideas? Have anybody heard about the Chekrin and Gamson 1987 7 Principles of Effective Teaching? Anybody? Well, I'll give you a hint. The 7 principles. To have effective teaching, you have to encourage student instructional contact, among student contact, engage student active learning, give prompt feedback, emphasize time on task, communicate expectation, and respect diversity. I'm not today going to go over these, but if you look at them, you will find that 5 or 6 of those talks about interaction or being active. Oh, let me give you a hint, by the way. Did you get your handout? Everybody got a handout? Okay. In your handout, there are a lot of missing data. So, could you pass them around, please? So, there are going to be a lot of missing data. So if you like to take notes to fill the missing information, you can go ahead and do that. Yep. Typical students come to classes, no pencil, no paper. Yeah, you're now in the... okay. Well, the idea here is everything now revolves around active learning. So what is active learning? What does it mean? Hopefully by the end of this session, we'll try to define what is active learning, identify reasons why we're using it, why do we use active learning, and why it's a necessity we have to use it, and probably describe some strategies and apply some of those. So let's get to active learning. If you look at the picture on the left, what our students are doing? That left, your other left, okay? They're just sitting there, listening, right? So that when you say active, the other opposite is probably negative, right? Or passive learning, where a student just sit in class doing nothing but just listening, right? When active learning, they have to do more than that. So what is active learning now? I want to get you to give me the definition. Okay, engaging students in what? Asking questions, good. Okay. Think, great, yes. What else? Give ideas, okay. Well, I'm going to give you the definition. It's involving them in, of course, thinking or asking questions or whatever. This is all goes under doing things. But not just doing, but also thinking about what they're doing. So you cannot keep them sitting there and listening to you. Effective teaching, remember, the 7 principles imply that you have to do more than that. And today, hopefully, we will be able to unmask the reason why. Well, there are 2 assumptions that require active learning to be in classroom. The first one is that learning is by nature is an active endeavor. You cannot learn by just sitting there. Can you learn computer or driving a car, or riding a bike, or operating a machine by just hearing something about it? Right? You can't do that. So learning by nature is an active thing. You have to do something, right? And of course, I'm sure you all know that this old saying, tell me I'll forget, show me I remember, involve me I'll understand. And I would like to add to these is, let me do it, I'll never forget. And I'll give you a very good bad example. How many of you, hopefully nobody, have been involved in a car accident? Okay. Have you been, has it been like a very bad accident or just a small accident? Small accident. Okay. Do you still remember that accident? When did it happen? 3 years ago, and you still remember probably the details very clear in your mind because you were there, you were involved in that accident. You didn't hear about it. Nobody told you about it. You didn't see it in the movie. You didn't discuss it with somebody. You were there. You were doing it yourself. So you have to do something to keep the knowledge fresh in your mind. Okay. Well, of course, I'm sure you're all aware about the learning pyramid, where people usually retain 10% of what they read, while they probably retain 90% of what they do, or when they teach the others. Okay. Well, the first assumption that you have to do something. The second assumption that we are different. We don't learn the same way. People are not the same. So if you keep teaching one way, a lot of people will be disadvantaged. And of course, you know about Gardner's multiple intelligence theory. There is more one type of intelligence, not only mathematical intelligence. There are all sorts of intelligence over there. So people are different, and they learn in a different way. You've heard probably about learning styles and so on. That will be really bad if it happens, because you have to use a variety of styles, not only just one style to teach everybody. Otherwise, a lot of people will be outcasted. Okay? All right. This is a little theoretical, but I have to go through it because active learning has to involve more than just listening. You have to involve higher order thinking. If you're aware of Bloom's taxonomy, how many of you know about Bloom's taxonomy? Probably you all know about it, but we never get to the level of really applying that Bloom's taxonomy in many situations. We have to not only focus on the remembering of, which probably, I don't want to be overestimating if I say 90% of the people in the university, faculty, focus their questions on remembering or understanding. We rarely go to applying or analyzing, evaluating, and creating. Because it takes a lot of work, actually, to come up with the questions that can evaluate evaluation, or can have students make creative assignment. So it's a lot easier to say, list such and such and such. Give me the reasons for, and you go on. It's a lot easier that way. And activities involves reading, writing, doing, and reflecting, of course. Okay? Well, they classify active learning strategies under 3 main categories: individual, and group or collaborative, and teamwork. Just real quick, there are some examples of the individual activities. And the one in red, hopefully we can cover them today. We'll not be able to cover everything today, but we'll try to cover as many as possible. 1-minute paper. How many of you are familiar with any of these? Okay, 2, 3. That's a good audience. I'm glad. I can see whatever I want now. Okay. For the small groups, we have also think, pair, share, demonstration, brainstorming, role-playing, buzz group, fishbowls, jigsaw, debate, and panel discussion. How many of you also know about these, any of these? You tried any in your classroom? Okay, good. So you can help. So, well, let's get to business now. We're going to start actually doing some active learning. This is active learning workshop. Don't expect to sit here and listen to me. It's going to be really awkward, right? What we're going to do in the next probably 15 minutes is, sorry? Any questions so far? Any questions? We're going to divide you into 4 main groups or teams. Each group will be giving a piece of information, okay? They will study it very well. They become expert in that piece of information. And they will work together. Everyone will do it individually, study it. And then on your table, you will discuss this piece of information and decide how you will best deliver this information to other people who are not in the same group. So we'll get one from each group, and they will form what we call the mixed group. Okay? So get ready for that, and so on. So let's do that. What I'm going to hand you now, we need about 6. Is there more than 6 people in one table? Can we have 6 people per each table? We have one here and one there. Please. One there. Well, you can get it started. I'm going to give you a bunch of paper. Just focus on reading the top paper. Don't start to play with the rest of them. Just focus on the sheet that is on top. They are stapled together, so don't play with it, okay? Just read whatever you have on top. Okay? Here. Here you go. You got 7 minutes. I hate to disturb your piece, but at the end, we're going to have a quiz, individual quiz. So you have to make sure that everybody is understanding what you're telling them. After you read it individually, discuss it within your group. Figure out how you're going to teach that. Remember, you're going to teach others about this, so try to figure out the easiest way you're going to impart this information to them. If you're done, go ahead. No, in the whole group. This is going to be the expert group. That's okay. No problem. We need 2 extra tables now. No, but we have to change the setting. We're going to have 6 groups after that. So big small groups, but each group will have 4. We have table there, we have 1 table here, so we need 4 chairs here. Right, okay. But I want to do it quick. Just right by themselves. We're doing it real quick so it won't take time. Do you need more time? Are you ready? More time?
I have a little confused. So are we now, once we talk about this, going to like divide up and we're going to have to each
One of you will convene with other 3 one from each group. And each one will teach the other about what they know. Is it clear, guys? What are you going to do? Okay. Are you done? Pretty much done? You ready? Need more time? If you're done, yeah, we can move to the next step. But not yet. You don't. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys, you got 1 more minute. Do we need more time? Need more time, guys? You ready? Ready? You ready? Ready? Okay. What I'm going to do next will be a little circus stuff, so bear with me. I need everybody to stand up, take your stuff, and move to the walls of the room. Yeah, move to the walls, please, okay? Yeah. All right. Can I have one person with the purple sheet? Raise your hand if you have the purple sheet, okay? We're going to have one person in each corner. One here, one here, one here, one here, and one here, and one there in the back, okay? So go. Just pick a table and set one of these tables, but no more than one person per table. Just the purple. What? Sorry? No, if you are on the top, your top page is the your top page. I told you, don't play with the stack of paper. The top page is purple. Take a seat on one of the tables, okay? Your top page, the one you read, the one you became an expert in. Are we seated? 6 people, 6 places. Okay? We can have a table here, and table there in the back. Okay? No, whatever. I mean, one table per person, or one person per table. All right? If we're done, the next group, the blue, do the same thing. One person per table, please. Yeah, the very bright blue, right there. Yeah, here's a table there. We should have a person here, actually. What happened to the, oh, there were 5. That's fine, okay. Well, the same thing. Let's get a person in each table. Can hear? Okay, and last, not the least, the yellow ones, the same thing. We want to make sure that in every table we have these 4 colors, okay? You're missing a person here. We're missing one person in this table. One yellow should come here. Okay. Right there. Okay. Well, now your assignment, if you wish to accept it, please. Now you're going to teach one another about your piece of information. You have 10 minutes. Is that enough? Plenty of time. I'm going to have a quiz at the end. It worked. You are missing piece of the puzzle.
We're missing purple.
Yeah, you're missing the purple. Okay. Well, I will teach you about it. So I'll be your partner. Okay. That's not fair, but I'll do it.
So the educator is the person who gives his lecture or his discussions and accumulating the data, collecting the information from the students, asking them what part was the biggest.
Don't read it. They have to tell you. No peeking. No peeking. Chinzi, when you participate with them, with the buzz, did you read the buzz group? Can you share with these guys? Because they're missing that part, the buzz group. Can you tell them, just tell them about it. It should have, these 3 people should be assigned in, and it helps, people discussion groups and individually. It's just to highlight it. Yeah, they're working on it, but they're missing that part.
Oh, they're missing that part? Okay.
Well, I got you a volunteer, so. Oh. Okay, I think time is up. Let's use it for a second. By the way, when you do this activity in class, you don't hand all the sheets to your students. I did this because I want you all have a copy of each. But I noticed some people are peeking and they're starting to read on their own. So that's the reason you don't give it to freshmen or even seniors. But not for faculty, it's different, but it didn't work either. So everybody now had a piece of the puzzle, right? And you met together and everybody tried to teach the rest of the group about his piece of the puzzle. Now we're going to have to test you on that, make sure that you really taught your peers well. I have a quick quiz with multiple choice questions. But this one, you're going to do it individually, okay? This is not going to be done in groups. If you want to sit back, do you want to take back your place? You can. So we'll give you a nick. No problem. Okay. Here is your quiz. 3 copies, 4 and 5. Yep. Sorry. Go ahead. Okay. You got enough copies for everybody? 2. Each one grab a copy. Now get rid of all the materials you have on the table. You can get it started right away. Don't wait. Don't wait for a signal. Okay. This is individual. Okay, you got 3 minutes to do that. And just a hint, there might be more than one answer. I mean, more than just one. You can have 2, 3. Oh, need a pen? Need a pen? Okay, sure. Oh, God. Wow, this is a real life class. No pen? Technology is a curse. Are we ready? If you're done, please stand up. Okay? If you're done, please stand up. It's not to pick on you or anything. It's just a signal that some people are done. If you're done, please stand up. No embarrassment at all. Just stand up. Yeah. So we know how many people are done. All right. Cool. Okay. People are struggling in the back. You don't have to stand up if you're not done. So everybody's done now? No, wait. We're going to wait another few seconds. Okay. Well, the reason I'm asking you to stand up is for 2 purposes. First, to know you're done and you're ready. And the second one is to put pressure on others to finish. Okay? All right, you can go ahead and sit down. Well, in your table, you will see, in your tables, how many of you have used clickers before in class? All right, great. We're going to use it now to answer these questions. I'm not going to have time to grade them, so we're going to have a comprehensive results right away. Okay, the first question. Oops. Where did we come here? Okay. Here's the first question, and I'm going to start. Oh, sorry. Let me get the that on top. Okay, this is your first question. I'll give you, well, actually, I'm going to get, are you ready? I'm going to get started. And the first question, go. The receiver is right here at the bottom. We have, what, 24 people in this room, 23? Did you turn it on? You push the orange button to turn it on? Okay. The orange button is to turn it on. And you pick A, B, C, or D, and then you push the send button at the right top corner. We got 17. We still got more. Okay? So you push the orange, it's on. And then push A, B, C, or D, and then push send right at the top right corner. You got that? Okay. You're done? Anybody have any? Still people I didn't? Well, oh, you don't? That can tell me that. Everybody got one? All right. Anybody else didn't get one of these? Oh, come on, guys. Why don't you say something? Okay. Who else? Okay. Well, we need to actually be an expert on this one because this is the easiest choice. Well, once we get to the next question, I'm going to ask you to actually enter more than just one letter. Okay? All right. We got one more person, probably. Okay, let's see the results. Okay. Well, the majority say E, which is right, but we still got some people who said A. Somebody got an A. Okay. Well, the majority is E then. No, there is one A down here. Somebody got an A, which is really good. Okay.
The reason there's
Yeah.
is probably some invisible spaces in there. Some people may have spaced over.
Oh, yes.
So she's all out in the air.
Try to just press the letter and send. Okay. For the next question, you're going to probably, maybe if the next or the one after, you're going to hit one letter and then use the arrow, right arrow key button to enter the second letter if you have to. Okay, just wait. Let me go to the second question. Okay. The second question. Let me start. Go. Oh. Let's go. Yeah, push the blue loop. I know it might be a little difficult for you. Probably this is not very common, but it's a fast way to get the results for everybody. 18, 19, 19, 20. Do I hear 21? 20, 21. One more. Okay. Stop. Let's see. All right, we got a B. Okay. It's correct, but yeah, some people got it B and D. Okay. What's the right answer? Discuss this feedback next class meeting. It's a B. Okay. So there's a little confusion here about the Modius point, so we'll touch on that later. So the right answer here is B. Okay. In the Modius point. All right. Let's go to this next question. Okay. Now you have to choose actually more than one letter. click on the letter, push the arrow button on the right, and then enter the second one, and then hit send. Are you ready? Okay.
These people are being bad students. They're just answering before they even read the question.
Well, they had the question already. They printed for them. So it should be easier now. Okay, 8. You have a problem doing that, using the arrow and enter another letter? And then hit send. Mm-hmm. Well, there is this a problem. Somebody did not teach you well. Okay, well, it was quick. It's classroom assessment technique. But it's a good point. Probably it's not common. So the cat, it's not cat and dog. It's classroom assessment technique. And you're probably going to hear that term a lot if you're in higher education. Okay? All right? Classroom assessment technique. You got it? We got 20 people. Let's see. Okay, we got an E. Nope. We got an ACD. Well, the right answer is A and D. Oh, there's more answers? Well, D and A. Well, that's good. Okay. D and A or A and D. That's good. But we got a whole range of variety here. Okay. So it wasn't very clear. All right? Let me go to the next question. In this question, you have to put an order. You select an order of a sequence of steps. You have to enter here. Get it started? Well, I can't tell. 4, 3, well, yeah, up to 5, of course. Well, I told you there might be more than one answer. But here, if you got them right, now you put them in order. So I'll give you a few minutes in here. Think about it. What is the right sequence for this? You're close. A couple more. Okay, one more. Okay, and stop. Let's see. Okay, you got, well, the right answer is bead. It's B, you think individually, and then pair with another, and then pair with other pairs, and then share with the group. So P, it's a B as in bead. like prayer beads. Okay? Okay, so there was one. Let me go for the next one for the sake of time. The last one. Okay. Now go. Close, close, come on, come on. Okay, one more, give me one more. Okay, see the answers? A and C, correct. Not E, because bus group is the only option here that is not right, as a quick individual feedback. I'm saying individual feedback, okay? So it could be A and C mainly, and you could have also D. But it has to be used in that sense. If you're using think, pair, share to evaluate student understanding. Okay. Well, which one of these you think you have the most problem? The 4 techniques we talked about. Yeah. Which one is still confused? You probably have a confusion about, or you still have a problem not clear about it. You are all clear? None of these are not clear, right? You're good. What? Cat. Okay. Cats and dogs. CAT is a classroom assessment technique. A technique you use it within the class to assess your students' understanding. It's a quick, easy. There are more complicated, more simple ones you can use, like think, pair, share. If I ask you a question and ask you to think about it individually, and then pair together and discuss that and reply back, like, and all this would happen in 1 minute. So that's a quick classroom assessment technique to understand if the students are really following. If I ask you to write, and I will do that, to write what is the muddiest point? What was the most problem in this part of the presentation? You didn't have a problem when I give you an index card and ask you to write on it, what was the muddiest point? What was the point that was less clear to you? Write it down. I'll collect these. I'll come back next class and tell you a little bit more about it. Okay? So if you are all okay with these, I'm going to just jump for the successful application for these. Well, for successful application of ASL, active learning strategies, if you want to do them, what can guarantee they will do the purpose of it? Well, first of all, you have to have clear link to your objectives. You're not doing this just for fun or to waste time or just to let the student work and you go outside and have a cup of coffee. No, you have to have clear links to the objective of the course. What do you want them to learn? You have to always remember that the objective of your teaching is not what you're going to tell them, but what they're going to learn. What they're going to, 3 things, what they're going to be able to know, thinking, what they will be able to do, their hands, and what they're going to be able to feel, their heart. Okay, the 3 H's they call: head, heart, and hand. That's the objective. It's not what you're going to teach, but what they're going to learn. Okay, so that has to be clear to you. If the activity is meaningless, you probably should do away with it. Well, you have to use the appropriate strategy for the appropriate activity. Let's say you have a pros and cons for some concept. You would use probably a debate to work better. If you have a chapter or a couple of 4 chapters of small pieces that you can give to a group of people divided among themselves, so one can teach the other for it, like we did Jigsaw. So if you have a piece of information that can be divided into small sections and have each student get a section of those and have them teach one another about it, you can use a Jigsaw, and so on. So you have to be selective, not just use anything for anything. Well, you have to have clear instructions. Before you let your students start, you have to tell them exactly what they're going to do. Otherwise, they might be sitting there confused, not sure what's going on. Okay? You have to have control. You have to tell them exactly how much time they have. Don't let them work and come up after 20 minutes for an activity that would take 2 minutes, and let them work for 20 minutes. Yes? Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, a good question. Could you have the buzz group outside of class? Of course you can. Yeah, they can work outside the classroom and come back and work again and convene in the class and finish all the work. The Jigsaw can be done similarly. They can actually study their section at home before they come to class, be an expert before coming to class. They call that like the flipped classroom, something like that. Flexibility of outcomes. Don't expect your students to come ready, motivated, excited to learn. They will have resistance. They will not accept this right away. So be flexible with the results, at least when you try this for the first time. And of course, you have to get follow-up. When you're doing an activity, walk around the class, room alleys, and check what the students do. Make sure they are not on their Facebook or they are texting. Okay? Make sure they are following up what they're doing. And for final tips, you have to start small. Okay? We said, today you've learned probably 5 or 6 different strategies. Don't go tomorrow and try to apply all of them. Do everything, because that's not a good idea. We have what we call continuum of activities. So you can start from down there while students just sitting there in the classroom, doing nothing at all. And up to taking notes, up to let me move that from the screen. Up to writing questions, and asking a question later, or the instruction now starts to ask them a question, up to discussion and small group interaction, and go all the way to debates, presentation, role-playing, and so forth. So you have to start small. Don't force it right away, immediately. I'm going to use a debate, a jigsaw, and ask Muddy's point, all that stuff one time. So take it slowly, okay? But the idea is you have to start early. So don't come at the last day of class and, well, I'm going to start active learning today. Your students already been mind formatted that you are talking, we're listening, we're passive. Don't now surprise us by doing this. You have to make it clear in your syllabus and do it from the day one. Don't start day one cold like, well, this is the syllabus, you can go home. You have to start some activities from day one so you get prepared for a different class. It's not going to be passive learning and you're not just sitting there, okay? Well, you have to plan for it. How many of you are aware of the lesson plan? How many of you uses lesson plan? A couple of people. Okay, lesson plan is very effective when you want to plan your lecture. You're going to start what are your objectives are, and how you're going to assess your students' learning, and what activities you're going to use in that day. You don't just grab some piece of paper and go to your classroom and say, well, we're going to talk about this today. That's not effective. You have to plan for it. And it might be time-consuming at the beginning, but once you're done, you're ready every time. You have to experiment. Maybe you have to try different ways. Before you do an activity, try to envision that activity. Make sure that you can see what's going on. It might go wrong and everything collapses, you know. So try to experiment a little bit with it. Try to envision yourself doing it in class and how's it going. Well, as I said, expect resistance. It's not going to be, particularly if students coming from No Child Left Behind, they're used to being fed with a spoon. So they were not probably going to be that cooperative at the beginning. And of course, you have to practice. Good practice makes good, perfect results. And go ahead and play. Of course, you have to use different strategies, because if you use the same strategies every time, the student will be sick of it. You know, you have to be creative, innovative, use different strategies every time. Otherwise, it's going to be problematic. Of course, you have to evaluate yourself and reflect on what you're doing and adjust using an assessment cycle. Well, if you have any questions, oh, sorry, that's not the way it should be. I'm done right here. I'm going to stop talking. So if you have a question, think about it. I want you to write down in 30 seconds now on this piece of paper in front of you, what have you learned today? Write 3 things that you have learned today.
say something about the incubator classroom?
Just let me finish.
Yes.
Okay, sure, I'll make an announcement. Okay. Are we done? Okay, let's summarize exactly what we talked about today. We talked about definition of active learning, which is engaged in first, hands and heads. Doing things and thinking about what they're doing. And why is active learning important? Because the two assumptions we have to be active to learn. It's an active endeavor. Learning is an active endeavor, and different people learn in different ways. Remember always these 7 principles of effective teaching? They're mostly talking about being active, cooperative, and engaging students in doing something and think about what they're doing. Okay? We had different strategies today that we went through. We started with ice breaking. Okay? Have people talk. It's really important to have people talk in class. Why is it important to have students talk to one another, by the way? Why do you want them to talk? Or you don't want them to talk? Social learning, okay, when they talk to one another. What else? When you talk about your materials. You're not talking about the soccer, or not soccer, the football game last night. You're talking about the materials. So what do you get from doing that when they talk about materials? Exactly. When you talk about something, you start understanding. When you're talking to your peer, your neighbor about the materials, it starts to get ideas from him. He starts to get an idea from him, and they exchange ideas. Ideas is the only thing that increases by exchange. If you have a pen, I hope you have a pen by now. Okay, can you raise up your pen? Okay, I want you to give your pen to the neighbor. Exchange it. Exchange pen with your neighbor. Okay. Okay, show me what you have now. What do you have right now? Please give it back. It's not. This is not permanent. But you started with one pen, right? And ended with just still one pen. You didn't have 2 pens at the end. You don't give yours. Well, ideas don't work that way. Ideas increase when you exchange them. When I give you my idea, I don't lose it. When you give me yours, you don't lose it. We just add ideas. So everybody talking to the neighbor or the peer, he's collecting more and more ideas. Okay, that's why my actually most favorite technique is think, pair, share. It's very easy when the class is, you feel like the class is going to sleep or you're starting to lose people. You can use this technique very easily. It works like a charm. Just ask a question, show them a picture, give them a problem, and ask them to work in pairs, and then share with the group. Well, sharing and talking among the students helps in a lot of things. First, as you say, they understand the material. They get to know the material when they talk about it. They get to practice the jargon. If you're in medicine or if you're in pharmacy or in engineering, there are a lot of terminology there. And when they start talking about these terminologies, they start to using them. And they start to get practice using this terminology so it stays in their minds. One very important value of students talking is when you talk in small group, you feel more confident that you can talk in a big group. When you talk to your peer, well, you think, I'm not going to make a fool of myself if I stand up and answer a question. But if I talk to a peer, well, I think he has the same answer. She has the same answer. Oh, we're okay. I think I'm confident now we can talk to the whole group. So always get students to discuss first. That will help them a lot be more confident to share with the whole class. Okay? This is one thing we talked about, think, pair, share. We talked about the muddiest point, which is, what is the most difficult point in this class? And you collect these answers without names, and in the next class you start to address this problem. One caveat is don't overuse this kind of strategy. Don't always ask your student what you didn't understand. Otherwise it becomes a habit that you start complaining all the time, I don't understand this and that, and it will be very frustrating for you. So, okay, that's why we're saying don't overuse any strategy. We use about think, pair, share, muddiest point, buzz group. Well, you were doing today is actually a buzz group. It's part of an activity where the student can talk within the group and discuss ideas and come to a conclusion. You have to have, but the main thing is you have to have a spokesman. Somebody has to be assigned that he's going to speak. And somebody watch the time, and somebody to write down with some nice handwriting. Okay? And finally, we talked about Jigsaw. We didn't talk about Jigsaw, but we actually had a Jigsaw. Okay. Well, these were just samples of active learning strategy. There are probably tens and hundreds of these strategies that you can use in your class to improve a student's understanding and learning. So we just scratched the surface today. Do you have any questions? Well, thank you very much. You've been a great audience. Would you please just the form evaluation, I'd like to get your feedback to get more improved. Thank you. If you have a clicker, please leave it on the table. Did you sign your name in the sign-in sheet, everybody? We'd like to keep track of who attended, so we probably can invite you later.
I scheduled an online evaluation of my class. Is it possible
Big
for me
mate.
to switch it to the small group?
Sure.
I think I might get
Yeah.
more feedback if
Sure.
I get it that way.
Well, you can
Can
actually
I just send you an email?
Yeah.
And
send another request.
process
Well,
again?
yeah, I can cancel the Big Mate or online, or
I don't need both, right? I
oh
just
yeah,
need one or the
if you
other.
did the in class, that's enough, pretty
Okay.
much. Yeah.
Okay, well, I'll send you another request.
How many students in your class?
112.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's the tough part.
Is that too hard for
Well, it's doable. No, we can do it. But it's going to take
Okay.
more than one person to do that. To solve.
Okay.
Okay.
Well,
we
it's
can
my
do it.
first time teaching. I've taught this material to graduate students a good bit, and now I'm teaching undergrads, and sort of.
Yeah, no problem. No.
So I definitely need help
Sure.
understanding if I'm reaching the right level of difficulty.
Definitely works
So
very well
I'll-
for that.
I will email you.
Okay.
And ask, or I just maybe
Just
send
make
another
send another request.
for you.
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
I actually went to this session because you guys are going over on Sunday afternoon. The Big Year Center's going over to the Student Athletics
yeah.
Center.
Mm-hmm.
And so I wrote down that I'm from SAS, Student Academic Support Services. and
Okay.
I got the email saying that I can come here instead.
Oh,
I was already on campus.
Okay.
So I'm just going to email my boss. So she may be emailing someone
Sure.
just to confirm that I was here.
You got your
That's what I
name
did.
signed?
Yes.
Okay. Sure. Okay. Your name?
Stephanie Carroll.
Stephanie. Okay.
But it's written on there.
Yeah. Well, sure. Stephanie. Okay.
But
Sorry, it's my bad. I think we met before.
forget things, so I'll
Sure.
write it down. Thank you.
Okay.
Did you say there's going to be other seminars like this?
Are you in your GTAB group?
Probably
Okay.
not.
If you don't know what is that, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Well, we have a graduate teaching assistant fellowship program, and they will have a session on Monday actually. I'm not sure if you're welcome to come. We have more elaborate strategies on that day. Going to be
Yeah,
here.
I'm not a grad student, so I don't
Oh,
think
what?
I would stand out.
So you are an employee? Or?
Yeah, I'm a postdoc over in Forestry.
That's good actually. We've been talking this morning about postdocs. So yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking about